Okay, the alarm goes off at 5:45. A woman gets out of a queen-size bed, careful not to wake the two kids beside her. She steps over a duffel bag and a backpack and reaches the bathroom, which is also the kitchen or close to it. There's a mini fridge beside the toilet, a hot plate on the counter, and cereal on the tank. This is not a vacation. This is home. For more and more American families, a motel room, one bed, maybe two if they're lucky, is where they wake up, where the kids do homework, where groceries are stored, and where everyone sleeps. And keeping that room day after day is more complicated and more punishing than most people realize. Okay, so how does a family end up living in a motel? It usually does not happen all at once. A lease ends and landlords want first month, last month, and a security deposit, often $2,000 to $3,000 before you even get the keys. For a family already stretched thin, that deposit might as well be the moon. So when housing falls through, the motel is the next door that is actually open. No credit check, no lease, no deposit, the size of a paycheck. You pay for the room, you get the room. That accessibility is the whole point. A nightly rate at a budget motel might run anywhere from $50 to $80 a night. Some places offer weekly rates around $300 to $450 a week, which sounds cheaper until you do the math. $450 a week is more than $1,800 a month. That is a significant rent payment in most American cities for a single room with no kitchen, no laundry, and no lease protecting you if the owner decides you need to go. This is the trap at the center of motel living. It is expensive to be poor, and the motel is one of the clearest examples of exactly that. Hey, it's CJ, the creator of this channel. If you want to make YouTube videos but don't want to spend the time it takes to script, film, and edit, with topic2video.com, you don't have to. The video you're watching right now is proof. I input my topic into the platform and this full-length video came out. I know it sounds simple, but it's true. No script writing, recording, or editing. Just put your ideas in and get your videos out. Try it for free today at topic2video.com. Now back to the video. Yeah, the pressure of motel rent is not just the dollar amount. It is the timing. When you rent an apartment, you pay once a month. You have 30 days before that obligation comes back. When you live in a motel, the rent resets every night or every week. There is no grace period. If the money is not there on Friday morning, the room is gone by Friday afternoon. Your belongings, your kids' clothes, the cereal on the bathroom counter, all of it goes with it. That's crazy, right? A missed bill that would give an apartment tenant a 30-day notice before eviction can remove a motel family from their shelter in a matter of hours. So the entire week is organized around making sure that payment happens on time. If an adult in the family gets paid bi-weekly and the check lands on a Wednesday, the mental math starts immediately. Room for the next 7 days, food, gas, whatever the kids need for school, all of it has to be sorted before the motel office closes. And if anything goes sideways, a car repair, a missed shift, a sick child who needed medicine, the room payment is the last thing to cut and the first thing to scramble to restore. All right, the room is the biggest line on the budget, but it creates costs that would not exist in a regular apartment, and they add up fast. Food is the first one. A motel room has no real kitchen. A mini fridge holds a gallon of milk, some lunch meat, maybe a few drinks. A hot plate can heat soup or eggs. That is about the limit. So the family eats out more than they want to, or they eat convenience food from the gas station next door or the dollar store down the block. Over a week, that can easily run an extra $50 to $100. Laundry is another one. There is no washer and dryer. If the motel has a coin laundry on site, a single load costs $2 to $4 to wash and another $1.50 to dry. A family of 4 doing 2 loads a week spends around $25 to $30 a month just to have clean clothes. Transportation adds more pressure. Budget motels are usually not in walkable neighborhoods. They sit along commercial strips next to fast food, auto shops, and tire centers. Getting to work, getting kids to school, getting groceries, almost all of it requires a car or bus fare. And then there are the things people do not think about. Charging a phone from two outlets already taken by a lamp and the mini fridge. Storing medicine, keeping a child's inhaler at the right temperature, and finding a quiet corner for homework. That work does not exist in a normal home. By 6:30 in the morning, the woman in that room has dressed two kids, made cereal in styrofoam bowls, and is figuring out who takes the kids to school and who catches the early bus to work. In a lot of motel families, both adults work, often in service jobs with hourly pay and variable schedules. Home health aide, hotel housekeeper, warehouse picker, food delivery. These jobs pay between $13 and $18 an hour in most markets, and they are often not full-time, which means no paid sick leave and no benefits. A full-time worker at $15 an hour brings home roughly $2,400 a month after taxes. The motel room alone can eat $1,800 of it. That leaves $600 for everything else. Food, gas, laundry, toiletries, medicine, school supplies, phone, and that math assumes everything goes right. It assumes both shifts get worked, the car starts, and no child gets sick. Motel living also makes keeping a job harder in ways that are invisible from the outside. Unstable housing creates stress that follows people to work, and those conditions do not clock out when the shift starts. A parent running on 3 hours of sleep in a room with two kids and no quiet is not performing at their best, and their job often cannot afford that margin. All right, now imagine the money does not come together in time, the room payment gets missed, or the motel changes ownership and raises the weekly rate by $60. Or a family member's job disappears. The family has to move. For people with leases and security deposits and moving trucks, relocating is expensive and exhausting. For a motel family, it is all of that plus something worse. They have to find a new room immediately, and the new motel requires its own payment up front. There is no overlap. There is no grace period. You pay for the new place before you leave the old one, or you lose both. That's crazy. A family moving between motels has to come up with two room payments at the same time, even though they are not staying in two rooms. And every move scrambles the rest of the routine. Kids get pulled from school zones and have to re-enroll or commute further. Bus routes change. The work schedule that was built around one location no longer matches the new one. A child who found a few kids to play with at the last motel starts over. This is what instability actually costs. Not just money, but time, energy, and the small systems people build to hold their lives together. Every move dismantles those systems and forces the family to rebuild them from nothing. Yeah, and here is the thing that makes all of this complicated to talk about. The motel is not the worst option. For a family that cannot qualify for an apartment, cannot get into a shelter, and cannot sleep in a car safely with children, the motel room is a roof. It is a door that locks. It is warmth in winter and somewhere for the kids to sleep at night. As one advocate who works with motel families in Metro Atlanta put it, the rooms offer respite from other forms of homelessness like sleeping in a car or a tent. But a hotel, he said, is no place to raise children. Both things are true at the same time. The motel is better than the alternative and still genuinely harmful. Families confined to a single room for months keep their children inside to stay safe, and that confinement creates its own problems, stress, anxiety, the grinding weight of never having space. Research on children in high stress, low stability environments shows real effects on how young kids develop, on their ability to focus, to learn, to manage their own emotions. The instability is not abstract. It lands in the body and the brain. So at the end of a typical day, after the early bus, the long shift, the coin laundry, the convenience store dinner, the homework on the bed, the family is still here. They are doing what families do, getting through the day, keeping the kids fed, trying to get enough sleep to do it again tomorrow. What makes motel living different is not the love or the effort. It is the cost of every ordinary thing and the fact that the room they are paying so much to keep was never designed to be a home. The math is tight, the margin is thin, and the whole arrangement can come apart with one missed shift or one unexpected bill. And yet, every week, families across the country make it work because the alternative is worse and because there is nowhere else to go. Hey, before you go, I want to tell you something personal. I worked really hard to try to make money on YouTube, and I finally found a way. This video right here was made with a tool I created called topic2video.com. I made all of the videos on this channel with this tool. It creates long-form YouTube videos from just a topic or idea. I want to help people drive traffic to their business with faceless YouTube videos. If you're serious about building a business with YouTube, I want you to try my software. Your first video is free. Go to topic2video.com and try it now. I'll see you in the next one.